Okay.
Okay, ladies. Well, welcome. Sorry we're a little late. It's 7:36 Central Time. We have a wonderful guest speaker with us tonight. This is going to be Tanya Green. I met Tanya Green. We lived by each other in the same neighborhood. Mutual. Thank you. Mutual.
Shalene, I had to mute you. There's tons of background noise. It says that you can unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. So sorry, guys. Technical difficulties. But I met Tanya out of our neighborhood. She has a little girl, Lily, about the same age as my little girl, Jersey. They love to play, and we kind of connected via our interest in our company. So Tanya's with Chloe and Isabel. If you're not familiar with that, it's jewelry. And she's also went into coaching. I've done a masterminds group. I'm currently in with her, and she is jumping in today to talk a little bit on team motivation, consistency, all the great things that we've been talking about on the Posh Crew page. So I'm going to keep it nice and short so that we can get all the wonderful information from Tanya. So, Tanya, I am going to let you take the floor.
Thank you so much. Oh, man, I appreciate this opportunity to speak with you all tonight, and super excited that you're honoring me by having me, speak with you. This is such a great opportunity. Like Shalene said, I met her, now it's been about 4 years ago. I can't believe it. And we met walking, go figure. We were outside and just introduced ourselves and found out that we had quite a bit in common in life, and just that real, sure will to be able to do something from home where we could really feel like we had it all, have a career, and being a work-from-home mom, and being able to contribute to our families, of course, and then also just having the life we really wanted and were looking for. And so I'm here to talk to you all tonight about the real keys to motivation and consistency. And my true feeling is that comes from engagement. But I wanted to introduce myself and give you a little bit of background about who I am. And I'm sure this little bio, the short bullet points here, may have you wondering, what is she doing in leadership coaching and development? So I'm a 38-year-old work-from-home mom of 4, and I do live in Cedar Rapids with Shalene as well, and I'm a proud U.S. veteran from the United States Coast Guard. I served in active duty from 95 to 99, so yes, that's dating me now. And I did the reserves after that for 4 years while I was going through culinary school. I do have a degree in culinary arts, and I own my own full-service catering company, yes, in Paradise, the Florida Keys. So what in the world am I doing back here in great old Iowa? This is where I was born and raised, and I am proud to be back. I'm proud to be able to raise my kids in such a great environment such as Iowa. During the time that I was in my catering business, living my absolute, what I thought was my dream, I realized that I was not really living the dream. I was exhausted. I was a new mom this was into the 3rd child, a new mom, and just exhausted, and running my own business, thinking that I was doing exactly what I was put on this earth for, because that was my goal and that was my vision since I was very young. I knew I wanted to own my own restaurant or have something to do with food service, but little did I realize what was going to come with all that, the great commitments of never being able to live away from that business, not really being able to live life because the cost of living in the Florida Keys and Paradise was so high. It just became a little bit ridiculous. And 5.5 years ago, and I can say that because my daughter just turned 6, and when she was about 6 months old, I looked into her eyes, and it was one time that I had to sit down, and something I knew had to be different about this life. I had been introduced about 2 years prior to that to the direct sales industry, and I dabbled in it a little bit, but I did believe what was possible. And I knew that it was possible to create my desired life and income with a direct sales opportunity. I worked with a health and wellness company and met some amazing people and mentors along the way that really shaped what I knew that I was born to do. I moved back to good old Iowa because we desired that change in life, and so with that came great responsibility of making sure that we could take care of our family on a single income. And that's when Chloe and Isabel came along into my life. It was through the people who introduced me to my prior direct sales business, but really had no idea what this was going to lead to. I mean, from my degrees and my experience, fashion jewelry company was nothing that I had ever imagined for my life. I started with the company very early on and was offered a position in sales development of the Midwest on the corporate side. I currently work from home, so it provides me with a great opportunity to work for corporate, but I work in leadership coaching and development with Chloe and Isabel. So I'm working with the top leaders in the company and have proven success in creating opportunities for people and really setting goals with them and allowing them to achieve the life that they were created for. So all of that has led me to an opportunity to find what the life I was really called to live. It's really about serving others for me, and especially women in leadership roles, or those looking to find the link to the life they were called to live. I work also with the John Maxwell team in coaching, speaking, and training in leadership. So if you've not ever heard of John Maxwell, or if you have heard of him, you know that his leadership training course is the best of the best. And I feel absolutely blessed to be here with you all today. Again, I want to thank Shalene for asking me to speak with you tonight on one topic that is crucial to your business, engagement. Have you ever considered what engagement can do for your business, or what it really even means to have an engaged team? I don't know if you guys are used to doing this, but a lot of what I do in my business is utilize the chat box. So tell me, what do you think that engagement means? Or what does it mean to have an engaged team? If you're the typing type, I see a few of you are calling in, so maybe you don't have the access to type. But we're going to talk about all of that. We're going to see what engagement can really do for motivation and consistency in your business. So we're going to go over what is engagement in your business and how you can achieve that maximum engagement and how to utilize motivation and consistency. And then, of course, there's never a call or a training with me that we're not going to give you a little bit of homework. We're not going to talk about how you can make it happen. It's always key to me to make sure that you're leaving anything that you do with Tanya Green with some keys to really take your business to that next level. So, what is engagement? Engagement is an opportunity approach designed to ensure that team members are committed to the organization's goals and values, motivated to contribute to the organizational success, and are able at the same time to enhance their own sense of well-being. That's really the goal, isn't it, of a leader? To not only be great, responsible leader, but to enhance your team members' own sense of well-being. How does it make you feel when you know someone has a greater life because of the opportunity you have shown them? What has this opportunity done for you in your life? Did you ever consider the success you have is because of someone else helping motivate and keep you consistent and coaching you to that life most likely Shalene inspired you or had something to do with that. Thus, you have a better sense of well-being. And your life may be just a little bit brighter. So if you can do that for others and truly get them engaged and motivated and keep them consistent, just imagine the possibilities that you're going to have for this life you truly desire. It's that same time to enhance your own sense of well-being as well. What is engagement? There are really two types of engagement, and I love the answer from Lauren. Thank you so much. It's totally true. It's more than just sales. There's tangible and intangible engagement. And the intangible is the communication and the inspiration. That's really the fun, quote, parts of your role. The tangible is what we're going to talk about today. It's something you can hold on to. You can grasp on. You can do the math on. It's super measurable. Engagement in your business means the amount of team members actively selling in any given month or recruiting. To maintain a great direct sales business, you need your team selling, right? They need to be doing parties, recruiting month after month. And the more engaged, the better the performance is. It's directly reflected by performance as well. An engaged team member is active and they're excited about the opportunity. The engagement can vary from poor to great. My goal is to get you more engaged sellers, more of those wanting to do what we spoke about in the previous slide. We want them committed to the organization's goals and values and motivated to contribute to that success of your team, and at the same time to enhance their own sense of well-being. You can do a great deal to impact your team's level of engagement. That's what makes it so important as a tool for your business success. That's where the true lifetime changing stuff is. If you can take that vision that they have and you can add in all the fun stuff about intangible engagement and then link it with the tangible stuff and get them to that true success, that's the feel-good stuff, right? When you can make everything come together and help that person, it will lead to better relationships on your team and among other team members. If everyone's excited and having fun and making money, I mean, that's, the goal of most people, I'm sure. The longer commitment and the greater return on investment. How many countless hours have you spent trying everything to get someone to sell, and they just don't do it? Sometimes it can take everything. It can take all of your energy. The sheer will is not going to get them there, right? If you wanted success for every single person on your team, they would be successful. You would have that you wanted and that you were looking for in this opportunity. But this is where the real Tanya Green comes in and why people enjoy my success coaching so much. It's because I'm real with you. And I want you to understand that it's really that we have to focus on the basics, and it will happen. We have to do the work. Just like this slide says, you've got what it takes, but it will take everything you've got. So my question for you all is, do you have it? Do you have that sheer energy? Do you have the desire much greater than what all the work it takes to do? Because that's what's going to make you successful in this. It's not about all the things that you do and how you can reinvent the wheel. It's really about just wanting it to happen and knowing that it's possible for each and every one of you here tonight. So how do we do that? How can we achieve maximum engagement? When considering engagement, we have to look at these things: creating the vision, focusing on the individuals, empowering the individual, and then, of course, leading by example. Have you created a vision for your team? Right now, if you can, if you're somewhere where you can write 3 things down that you want your team to be known for, please do that for me. Write down 3 things that you want your team to be known for. You think about what people are going to say about your leadership and your team. What do you want to be known for? 3 things, if you can, write them down. When someone speaks of you, what do you want them to say? It's so important that you create that vision with your team. But besides creating it, you also have to share that vision. Who is your team? What do you stand for? And where do you want to go as a team, collectively? What are you looking forward to, and what are you excited about? It's not about you and your personal goals. Absolutely. We all know that. I'm pretty sure here you've been coached to understand that there's no I in team, right? It takes all of you. So what is that vision that you're creating for your team? If you haven't considered it, write those things down and share it with your team. Talk about it on your team page. Speak with Shalene and get it really solidified so that you can feel confident that it's the vision that you're looking for. When doing this, creating that vision, you also have to consider the individual's goals. Coach to their goals and dreams. Why are they here? Do you know that? Can you say that you've connected with at least 75% of your team and understand why they're here? If not, you need to take some time and engage them in those intangible ways. Get them on a phone call. Post on your team pages. Have people post videos about why they're doing this. Not only why are they here, but how can you help them get to their goals? The best way you can help them is to connect their goals with an even greater vision and stretch them to their absolute max. Stretch them to their maximum potential. How do you do this with your team? I have this golden thing that I really like to do. When a team member sets a goal and they've achieved that goal month after month, or they're just shy of that goal, what about just asking them? Something like this usually works, and I do this quite often. So I don't know if there's any Sallys on the line, but we'll just use Sally as a name. I see you've been super consistent in the past few months, and I love that about you. But let me ask you, what's holding you back from achieving whatever level is next on their career? More times than not, people are so focused on that initial goal that they've set for themselves that they haven't even considered what else is possible. It takes a true leader to instill that and to have the intelligence to project that kind of for them and to help them see the bigger vision. I know this because last week I had a conversation with 3 different ladies headed for the same promotion. And when I asked them, where do they see themselves in 5 years? They were so focused on that initial goal of promotion that none of them could tell me what they wanted in 5 years. Now I talk about goal setting and creating visions all the time. Making dream boards, it's things that I do on a daily basis. But it just so happened to be with these 3 women, they hadn't got much past that initial goal. So they've gotten to the promotion, right? But now what? You have to help your team members create that vision to keep them engaged. It takes a true leader to recognize that. Another key is to empower that individual. If you want to keep them moving in the right direction, this is absolutely crucial to do. Search out their strengths and utilize them to help your team grow. Not everyone is great at everything, right? Have you ever heard the quote from Mother Teresa that says, "You can do what I cannot, and I can do what you cannot, but together we can achieve great things." Sometimes team members just like to be acknowledged for things that they do well. Most people are in this for 3 different things: recognition, belongingness, and money. So empowering them on your team will allow them to be more invested in the big picture. And of course, don't forget, always lead by example. Always lead by example. Do you know that this is the greatest factor in getting people to engage with you? Showing them what is possible. Always leading by the best example. Having the amazing attitude, having great energy, achieving the highest you can possibly achieve in your sales, recruiting, what other goals do you have going on in your, personal life. I always say, it's funny to say personal life because I feel like in this type of industry, there is no personal life. Like, everybody knows and should know everything about you. Let them see what a great example you are in your life. So empowering them on your team will allow them to be more invested in that big picture. And you've heard about, I don't know if you all have heard the leadership guru, Jim Rohn. He's a huge direct sales person. He was back in the day. Unfortunately, he's no longer living. But they'll do what you do. Have you ever heard that quote? If you don't know about Jim Rohn, seek him out. You can even search him on Facebook, and there's some great quotes. You can YouTube and listen to some of his motivational. He's so real. He has the most real things to say about leadership and had great experience in direct sales. So understand that when he says that, it's a no-brainer. They'll do what you do, he says. But it's hard for us to see, and it's hard for us to live by every single day. So just take a personal check every once in a while. Am I leading by example? Or have I faded away a little bit because I'm not, as motivated or excited? As a leader, this is where the motivation starts. It starts with you, my friends. So what about that motivation? Are you willing to get going? I know things aren't always easy, and I get that. But, and I say that with a huge but, are you willing to go the extra mile? Do you know that if you expect your team to be at 100%, then you have to be at like 250%? That's why I always, in my mind, I'm not even joking, I look to people like Shalene, like she's a huge inspiration because she's always at like that level above everything. She's an amazing example where, when the going gets tough, the tough get going, where this is concerned. She is always, always on it. That energy level of 10 has to be that way all the time in leadership. And I know it's not easy, but if you want success, you have to be willing to do the things that aren't normal. Because if success was easy, everyone would be on that train, right? And this type of business, this type of leadership isn't for everyone. It's not what everyone is willing to do the extra, to go the extra mile. Nothing is just going to fall in your lap, I'm sorry to say. You have to be willing, when the going gets tough, to keep moving forward. One of the ways you can achieve that max motivation is through a daily outreach. How many of you have a daily schedule for your Posh business? Are you treating it like a true business? How many of you have a separate schedule for your team? And how many of you don't have a daily schedule at all? It's okay if you don't, but now is the perfect time to start. Set a schedule of daily outreach to your team members. If you have to, write it down, each team member, and rotate who you're going to engage each day. Pick 5 or 10 people, I'm not quite sure how large your teams are, a day that you will send personal outreach to and rotate it to recognize something they did. And most of the time, have it nothing to do with the business. I know, I said it. Engage them in other ways and motivate them in other ways. You can sprinkle those great achievements in, but I promise you, until you truly connect with your team and show them that you are interested in more than just what they sold or how many people they recruited, they will never be motivated to do more. So set a schedule to do this. Take 20 minutes max each day. Yes, I said each day. You might be saying, Tanya, I don't have 20 minutes. I'm so crazy busy. I'm going to go back to how important is it to you that you have motivation and consistency and you have a fully engaged team. You have to be willing to do the work. You have to commit if you want something to change. Then what about when things are going really well and you're on that gravy train? You have to capture those moments. That momentum is essential. You have to scream it from the rooftops, my friend. You have to take that momentum. It can be a leader's best friend, and you have to utilize it and maintain that consistency that you're looking for. Those that are top sellers or even those that are just starting or having great success, in order to keep them moving, you have to stay excited. You have to stay connected with them. You have to keep moving forward. Momentum is a great exaggerator, and it can be absolutely amazing. Momentum actually is only momentum because it's created. It's not something that just happens. But what happens if you have no momentum? You have the opportunity to create it. You have to leave behind what happened in the past, those not successful months. You have to be straight with your team and about where you are and about where you want to go. Again, engaging them with that vision of greatness, creating the team that you desire. So besides motivation, a key with engagement is also consistency. How do you keep them consistent? It's actually by not reinventing the wheel. Success is doing ordinary things very, very well. Stick to the basics of your business. Those are the step-by-step ordinary things. And if you master those ordinary basics, you will do great things. Use them as building blocks to get better and better at what you're doing. Investing time in yourself, investing time in your leadership experiences, professional development, all of those things are building blocks of the business. But stick to the basics of the business and just excel on them. And again, utilize empowerment to empower those people that are a little bit better on your team than maybe you are at something, and you guys can collaborate and do great things. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Utilizing that constant calendar. So I talked a little bit about what you should do, but what does a constant calendar mean with your team? Have you guys ever talked about this? Considering what your team is willing to commit to. You want to talk to them about those goals and how they're going to achieve that. Does that mean they have to do 4 parties a month? Does that mean they have to do 2? Always thinking in advance. So I know some of you are amazing at what you do, and your calendars are booked up. Teach your teams how to constantly keep their calendar going month after month. It's a key to consistency. It's a key to keeping your team engaged. It's the key to keep them excited. If they're always busy with their business, they're going to be excited. So a constant calendar just means that you're booking 2 to 4 months out with your stuff, with your parties. And you're going to encourage your team to do that. So right now, you would be thinking about, man, how many people on my team are going to be engaged in July? How many people have 1 to 2 to 4 to 6 to 8 parties booked already for July and August? And I mean, even right now, think about September, because once the school stuff starts to roll back around, it tends to slow down just a tad bit because people are, customers, clients are busy. So just think about that constant calendar. And then, do you know who your team is? Have you identified those A, B, and C players on your team? If not, I would encourage you to take some time and identify those people Who are those consistent top 20% that you know you can count on every single month or every single week? They're very consistent. They're just going to continue to do what they're doing because they're excited about the business. They want to achieve the maximum potential. They're probably becoming leaders themselves, if not already leaders. You know, a lot of you on this call are going to be those A-teamers, right? So what about the B team? The B team is where you can promote your greatest potential in that. It's the maximum of your team. That's where the true engagement game comes into play. You have to find ways, utilizing what we've talked about, to encourage them, to engage them, to keep them motivated, keep them going. That's where the most of your time is going to be spent. And those are when those one-on-one connections come super important, investing in those people. And then you also have your C team people that maybe they just bought the kit, or maybe they're only doing things once in a while just to remain active. It's okay. They play an essential role. There always has to be those people. The key is to utilize those C team members to sprinkle in a little bit of engagement, you know, on a consistent basis. So really, do you know who those team members are? Can you identify them? Can you take and start making a list of who those people are on your team and knowing what you need to invest your time in? Always encourage you to invest the most of your time in that B team while constantly pushing those A-teamers to their next goal. Again, I said we weren't going to leave this call, and I promised Shalene I wouldn't go past a half hour, and we're just about there. So we've got some action steps for you, because you can't leave a call without action steps from Tanya. Focus on engaging your team. Create that vision. Focus on the individual's goals and help them achieve that through empowerment. Always, always lead by example. Utilize that daily outreach. So if you don't have 20 minutes in your calendar every single day, or even if it's 3 times a week, you know, I don't know what your schedules look like, but if you want to see success, you have to make a commitment yourself to consistency. Utilize that daily outreach and capitalize on the momentum that you have in your team. Keeping that energy at a level 10 always, so that whatever you're expecting from your team, they're going to give back to you, right? You have to be at extra 150% level wherever they are, whatever you're expecting from them. Stick to the basics, coaching to a constant calendar, and considering those A, B, and C team members. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. However, capitalize on the basics. Get great at the basics, and then coaching to a constant calendar. Really start identifying those A, B, and C team members and seeing how far you can stretch them by utilizing all the things we talked about on the call tonight. Okay. I know that was a lot of information, but I had so much to talk about because it's such a great subject, and I love engagement. Can you tell? So after this call, I want you all to connect with me. Like Shalene said, she's been on a mastermind group. I do offer free mastermind opportunities. It's on a first-come, first-served basis. You can find me on Facebook at Green Success Link. I offer free mastermind opportunities. I'm taking registrations for some starting in late July. We also have some other mastermind opportunities. Right now we're getting ready. I have 2 openings for the Sometimes You Win, Sometimes You Learn book. All of these are based on John Maxwell's principles, certification through the John Maxwell team in leadership coaching, speaking, and training. I also offer personal success coaching plans, lunch and learns for your teams. I also do a lot of calls like this in group training. I really specialize in goal coaching and priority-based scheduling. If you don't know what those things are, I would love to take 30 minutes and consult with you over the phone to see how I can help grow your leadership business. My personal philosophy is you can't get anywhere in life without helping others, and I truly believe that you desire to live the life you were called to live. So remember, never give up, for that is just the place and time that the tide will turn. some of you might just be really, really close to that success that you've always dreamed about and that you were really called to live. So don't give up. Never, ever give up. Thank you so much. I'm not sure if Shalene is going to come back on the call. Thank you so much.
Can you hear me, Tanya?
I can. Yep.
Yay! Well, thank you so much. Such an awesome, so many awesome things that you talked about tonight that I know as a team we've been working on several of those things, but like you said, we're always a work in progress. And, you know, you had that Mother Teresa saying is one of my favorites. I have written all over the place. You can do things that I can't do. I can do things that you can't do, but together we can do great things. And I just think that, everything you have to say, it just makes me so excited. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for just coming on and giving these girls so many great things to be working on as we go into our fall-winter catalog. Girls, absolutely. You would love her mastermind groups. They're awesome.
So I'm not sure if we have any time for questions if you wanted to do that or if... You can open it up for questions, see if the girls have any questions. Girls, you can *6 if you're on your phone to unmute. You can use your microphone on your computer. You can also type in the chat box. Sometimes they're quiet. It's okay. Sometimes it takes a few seconds too. So.
You see any in the chat box? Sorry, I can't see any.
Some thank yous, yeah. So.
Okay. Well, you did such an amazing job. I think we all have work we can do. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and in that I'll make sure to post it for the girls and your link to your Facebook page. If you want to, for me, as we're getting off, to shut down the screen share and cancel the recording, that would be amazing for me. And